I decided to make this review because I haven't found any on this particular amplifier on YouTube, and I'd like to get some information out there. I'm no expert, so I can't give you an objective comparison of good and bad points, but hopefully you can use this information if you are thinking of purchasing this amplifier. First, I'll go over my reasons for picking this amplifier and the features of it. Then I'll address the issues and give some solutions. My headphones don't actually need an amplifier. I just wanted to leave my headphones plugged into something and be able to switch between my speakers and headphones with ease. Having a 6.35mm output in the front was a bonus, but I particularly wanted the input on the back, which is through a 3.5mm jack. You can also plug it into your computer by USB and have it act as a separate output device. And it has Rca Line Out on the back, so you can plug it into like a speaker amplifier down the line. Now the first minor problem is that it has Chinese tubes, and these can be hit or miss. So I changed mine out to Russian tubes to start with. But the real problem is that it's noisy, really noisy. Part of this is the 12-volt power adapter that it comes with. But even with a better 12-volt supply, there was still a lot of noise. When I checked the components inside, I found that the electrolytic capacitors were only 10 volts and had the full 12-volt input power going across them, which is not good. The product description actually says it comes with a 9-volt supply, but the amplifier itself comes with a 12-volt supply, and it has 12-volt written on the back of it. So I bought a 9-volt supply and the noise decreased quite a bit. I also changed the capacitors to 16-volt capacitors of a slightly different brand, and that had a difference as well. But when I watched an EEV blog video on a similar cheap amp, I found that the voltage across the heaters in the tubes should be 6 volts, and when I checked in this amplifier, it's the same as the input voltage, so 12 volts with the original input supply. I checked that the amplifying chips worked down to 6 volts and then bought a 6-volt supply for this amp, and the noise level dropped quite a bit more. The last thing I noticed was empty pads on the op-amp output for a capacitor. So I added a capacitor in, which removed almost all the remaining noise. If you like modding things, then you could enjoy working on this amp, but it's really not worth it, and I can't recommend buying it.